Jesus Youth presents through Him, with Him, in Him. Feel the holiness with blessings. Now, Jesus Christ is more close to you.
Dearly beloved friends, chosen by God, we welcome you all to these blessed moments. God's mighty hands were visible to us throughout the conception and realization of this dream. Walking in His grace, here we are before you. He is waiting for you with the banquet of His love. He will embrace you with His wounded hands. You can feel the gentle touch of His precious blood. We have heard, read, and seen so many things about this, but there are still more mysteries to be known and revealed. We are only trying to take up a handful of water from the ocean of the Eucharist, the ultimate prayer. A humble effort to tear down the veil which hides the Holy of Holies, and to understand the symbols and rituals of the Holy Eucharist. We hope to light at least a small lantern in our hearts through this endeavor. The remaining masses we may attend in our lifetime should become even more lively and meaningful. This is our prayer. We offer up ourselves as a living sacrifice to you, through Him, with Him, in Him.
In the beginning, God created heaven and earth. The Word was with God, and the Spirit of God moved upon the face of the waters. God created all things through His wisdom. He created man and woman in His own image and likeness. The serpent, who was jealous of God's love to man, tricked them into disobeying God. Through that single disobedience, sin and death entered the world. But the promise of salvation echoed in paradise.
I will make you and the woman hate each other. Her offspring and yours will always be enemies. You shall bruise his heel, and he shall crush your head.
When the world was filled with sin, God put an end to it through a flood. God chose a man to save all the tribes from the tyranny of sin and called him Abraham. Abraham offered 1/10 of his wealth to Melchizedek the high priest. Even before the law and Levites came into being, Melchizedek blessed Abraham with bread and wine.
May the Lord of heaven and earth bless you, and all glory to him who gave you victory over enemies.
Abraham and Sarah's long-suffering faith was rewarded by God through Isaac. God gave Abraham a taste of his own pain when he asked Abraham to sacrifice his only son.
Abraham, do not raise your hand against the boy. Do not harm him. You have not refused me, your own beloved son.
The children of Abraham were known as Israel. By that time, Egyptian slavery started crushing them. Then the Lord spoke from a burning bush to a shepherd in Horeb. All the splendor of Pharaoh vanished in front of Moses' staff. The chosen people of Israel celebrated Passover as a symbol of mankind's freedom from sin. That night, the Lord led Israel to freedom by annihilating Egypt's firstborn with his mighty hands. People prepared the Passover lamb and ate it with bitter herbs, fastening their belts, wearing their sandals, and holding their staff. The Red Sea parted in front of them, and they were led to the promised land. They passionately celebrated this glorious miracle God did for them throughout generations. In the evening of Passover, lambs were sacrificed in all the Jewish households. On the day of feast, the high priest will sacrifice another lamb without blemish for all the people assembled in the temple. Centuries passed. God was present in the Ark of the Covenant. The chosen people went through judges, kings, prophets, and exiles too. They kept on offering sacrifice to purify physically those who were unclean. The high priest will enter the Holy of Holies once in a year with the blood of a bull and a goat for the salvation of all the people. Another goat bearing all the sins of people will be led to wilderness to be eaten by wild animals. This was for the atonement of sins of all the people. The people of Israel failed to know the heart of God because they started to observe the law as a ritual. God fell silent without prophets and prophecies. But fulfillment of the promise in paradise was at hand. The people who waited in darkness saw a great light. The light dawned upon those who dwelt in darkness. A voice was heard in the wilderness.
Prepare the ways of the Lord. Straighten the paths for him. Behold the Lamb of God, who takes away the sins of the world.
Do this in remembrance of me.
Don't be afraid. I am your guardian angel who hasn't left your side from the day you were born.